Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there. So you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Hi everyone, and I have something for you to take part in, and that is perfect 30-day sleep. We all know sleep is so important, so you can transform your sleep in just 30 days. This is a science-backed program designed to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed and energized. So you have everything that you would need for a better sleep with this program. It's a complete toolkit designed to transform your relationship with sleep and help you wake up refreshed every morning. So that could be 30 daily lessons. These are bite-sized, actionable lessons delivered each day to gradually improve your sleep habits. And science-backed methods, techniques rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia and sleep science. Guided meditation, something I love to take part in, calming audio tracks, and sleep meditations to help you relax before bed, sleep tracking tools, monitor your progress with their built-in sleep diary and progress tracker. There's also downloadable resources, so PDF, worksheets, and quick start guides that you can access anytime, anywhere, and lifetime access. You can keep all these materials forever with free updates as the program evolves. So everything that you need for a perfect night's sleep, something we all need to, regenerate our bodies. So you can head on over to perfect30daysleep.com/reality times 2. That is perfect30daysleep.com/REALITEAXTWO. This episode is ad-free on the Patreon. So if you want to partake in that, you can head on over to patreon.com/realityt times 2. Welcome to Reality T times 2 podcast, where we discuss all the trash reality and the goddamn, I forgot the line that we all love to hate. I'm Tanika, and I clearly don't remember how to start my podcast. And today we're going to be discussing The Last Resort, episode 9. I don't think we have anything to discuss, but I will say here, I am going to be covering the Love is Blind UK ATA. That is actually going to start dropping at noon today after this episode. So that will be dropping today. And then the next one will be piggybacking with the new Ultimatum season, which will be going along with episode 1 and 2, will be dropping the next day on Friday once I finish all of those notes. But that is basically that. So that's the announcement. Let's jump into the reason we're here. That is episode 9 of Last Resort. Um, so we're still in the whole situation of rappelling down this goddamn rock quarry, and we're still with the whole situation with Shekinah being mad at Sarper for helping Thais, like the good man he is. And she's like, I'm just upset that you were focusing on her, but like, I'm happy you conquered your fear. Let me freaking tell you how much you fucking suck, but congrats for conquering your fear, honey. She's diabolical, man. Anyways, next it's Russ and Sumit rappelling down this rock quarry. And Sumit doesn't hear Jenny say a snake. He's like, is it a snake or is it a snail? There actually is a snail, but they don't get this. They get the snake. But then as he's yelling for her to talk to him, she's shutting down, y'all. And I'm thinking, your man is rappelling down a rock. Do you want to tell him something? But then they get it done. She starts talking again. Dr. Tyrone is like, come on, Jenny, you gotta say something. But Paula tells Russ, your butt looks good from here. Okay. Love the compliment. And then the final group is Ziad and Guillermo going down. And Rebecca says, he's not good at taking instructions, but maybe I'm bad at giving them. I think it's both. And then Guillermo gets his card and he drops it on a bush, but he is able to get it back. Everything is fine. And when Guillermo gets back down, they hug. She's proud of him. Love this. Moving on. On the way back to the castle, Thais says, Sarper's growing on me. See, this is what Sarper does. You don't like him. He's this misogynistic man he can't stand who's weighing his girlfriend. And then he grows on you and you start to love his counting weirdness and the 2,500, although that's weird. And you start to love him. That's what happens. It's like a disease. He just infects you. I love Sarper. Never leave me. I love him so much. Anyways, she's like, he helped me down. But the big question is, how does Shekinah feel about that? We'll all figure that out at the tell-all. She's gonna piss people off there too. Anyways, Jenny says about these loans, we're married. You gotta talk to me. You gotta tell me. It's her right. But he says, I don't like the concept of marriage. What? Sir, this is her second marriage and you don't like the concept of marriage? You kind of got forced into your first marriage, but why did you marry Jenny? There was no force. You didn't have to do that, except for the fact that she would have had to leave, but you didn't have to do that. What? And obviously that leaves a bad taste in Jenny's mouth. So yeah, very weird. So Guillermo actually hugs Kara goodnight. We're getting lots of hugs here. And kissed her on the cheek and said that you can come to my room and hang out. That sounds like an invitation. I know it's not, but damn. The next morning, Sarper finally tells Shekinah, you gotta stop. When you get heated, listen to me. He's basically, in a sense, begging her, stop being a little bitch. In the realest way. Not in the Sarper way, in the realest way. So, it's Russ and Pao's 12-year anniversary. Y'all, I'm gonna have so much to say. She got him a real good gift. It's a watch that he clearly wanted. I preface this for reasons. So Patrick went to go get a pregnancy test, and Patrick would like a big family, but not like this. With everything kind of going on with their marriage, he doesn't want to potentially have two kids going through their parents going through a divorce. Um, so she says that when he tells her, you pee on it, blah, 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 right? Duh. She's like, but the last time I dipped it, you can do that too. But unless you don't have a cup to pee in, you're gonna have to just pee on it. But, anyways, the other thing too, and I've done a few pregnancy tests in my life, and, I feel like it's literally in the instructions that you don't flip it upside down. So yes, they have flipped the pregnancy upside down because she doesn't want to see it when it does its thing. But I'm like, doesn't that ruin the test? Like, should you be flipping it upside down? I don't know. What do I know? But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to leave it upright, flat, so that it can read properly. Just, I don't know. But anyways, um, but this fool literally says to her, "Well, if you are pregnant, at least he is going to be in school, so at least you don't have to look after two kids at the same time." What? So wait, she is going to have to take care of two kids physically at the same time every day. And either way, she's going to be exhausted. She's not going to be able to sleep, or take naps when Elise's in school. She's going to have to take care of the next baby and clean the house. You know what I mean? It's things like this why men should have to switch roles with women. Anyways, but not to worry, y'all. It is negative. Thank the Jesus because of what we know now. So we have another therapy session. It's another group therapy. We haven't done a lot of like one-on-one therapy. I think I said this before. We're not seeing a lot of that. We are going to see something coming very soon, but it's not a lot of that. Like two people, that's it. Anyways, this time we got puppets, y'all. They're really scary ass puppets, like these creepy as fuck puppets. Puppets that will give anyone a nightmare, except for Thais. She thought they were cute, but not these puppets. These puppets are devil puppets. These are scary ass puppets. So, what I, okay, listen, I get Shekinah is a bitch, and she deserves a lot of the animosity that everyone's putting on her. But this is getting ridiculous to the point where now we are making fun of how she's dressed, like we're in high school. It and just ganging up on her. At this point, it's like you're demanding. To me, it feels like you're giving more attention to her than necessary. It's like you're demanding something out of her that she's not going to give you. So when does it get to a point where you just say, "Fuck this bitch, I'm not giving her my attention anymore," and let it be? You know what I mean? It's becoming a little bit too much now. Something will happen in the most recent episode that I will talk about when I talk about that episode, but I'm just like, this is becoming too much. Y'all gotta stop. Like, y'all gotta stop, like, giving all of this attention to this woman and actually doing the thing that you're saying she's doing to you. Just saying. Um, so she kind of says that wilderness camp was good. And then all of a sudden, here we go again with the rah, 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 because everyone's like, bullshit. Why are you lying? And this or that. And it's like, why can't we let her say what she's saying? Because in this moment, that's what she wants to say. And again, maybe it was good for her because her and Sarper had a pretty fucked up moment, but a moment after he rappelled down the rock quarry. So why can't it be good for her? Even if you think it's impossible for it to be good for her because she alienated herself from the group, why pinpoint something that does not need to be pinpointed? This is the problem that I am having with the entire group. And again, I'm getting very sick and tired of, listen, like I said before, what she kind of said was fucked up. And she does need to apologize for what she said. But we are similar to how we are treating the whole Cara Guillermo situation. We're acknowledging the one, but not the other. Thais has her part in this. Thais was aggressive from the jump, out of the blue for no fucking reason, because Shekinah was using words and sure she was pointing, but what the fuck is that? Like, she's not actually touching anybody. She wasn't hurting anybody. She was just using her words. And you start trying to throw glass at her. We're not talking about both of the sides here. And not everyone was there to witness that part, but there was quite a bit of people there to witness what Thais was also doing. And it's like, I remember, I don't know if anyone else does, but I remember, especially Kara, trying to stop Thais in, trying to hit Shekinah or throwing glass at Shekinah as soon as Shekinah said the things that she said, which, yes, fucked up. What the fuck is your problem? You made it worse. It's like everyone just said, well, never mind. Not going to get involved in that anymore. Or I'm going to pretend like that part didn't happen. It's frustrating. It's actually really frustrating. We're not acknowledging Thais and her part in this, and that's what's frustrating for me. Keep acknowledging Shekinah and what she did until she can apologize, but Thais is not being held accountable for her part, and that's what's just frustrating for me. And when you have these people being like, "Oh, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying," what? So what? What's it to you if she is lying? Who gives a shit? Anyways, meanwhile, Russ and Pao are doing some archery for their anniversary, and then he gives her a gift. And she says, please, no necklace. And he's like, why? Because it's all she gets. Here's the thing. Men, when it comes to gift giving, one trick ponies. My boyfriend, if I let him, will only buy me purses. For the entirety of our time together, it's been, what are you going to give me for Christmas? A purse. Like, that's his thing. That's his go-to, whatever. Just like my boss, his go-to is LCBO gift cards. Now, if you don't know what LCBO is, if you live outside of Ontario or even outside of Canada, I'm sure like there's abbreviations of that, like LCBM for Manitoba or something. But it's a store where you go and buy alcohol. You can buy all the wines, spirits, beers, and all that. So yeah, that's what's the point I was trying to make? Oh yes. So yeah, that's like something my boss would do. One trick ponies, you know what I mean? But unless you're spelling it out for him, like either listen to the things I'm saying, but sometimes what it appears for me with Russ is he isn't doing that. He is maybe incapable of listening to the hints she's dropping. So this is what I would say. I would suggest to Paula, how about ask me what I want? Or say, hey, give me a list of things that you want, and from there he'll pick what he wants to get you. You have to sometimes spell it out to these men. And I think, yes, buying necklaces constantly, it gets old. For sure it gets old. And he says that it's his favorite gift to give. But sir, it is not about you. Because that goes to tell me that it's a lazy thing to do. You immediately go to the easiest thing that you can give her, and that is a necklace. There's no forethought, there's no thought, and there's no, what does my wife want? There's none of that. Critical thinking. There's none of that. It's just, let me do the easiest thing, and that is I always get her a necklace. That's what I'm gonna get her. No. And again, you say it's your favorite gift to give. So do you give necklaces constantly to your mother, to other women in your life? Is that what you do? Is that your go-to? Because then if that is his go-to for other gifts, for other people, then that tells me as well, there is no uniqueness in the gifts you're giving your wife, which then would go back to, well, is your wife not special? Does she not deserve something different than everybody else? There, like, there's no thought here. Um, and she said she's trying not to ruin the moment, but you can tell she's very disappointed, and I actually felt really, really bad for her in this because it's like she put a lot of thought into his gift and was excited to give him his gift, so much so that she's thinking, "I might keep it." She's very excited about this gift, and then the gift she gets back in return is a necklace that she always gets. So, she gives him the watch, and in her defense, she said that she's told him, "No more necklaces." Like, she's actually said to him, "Stop it with the necklaces," and he's still going and buying the goddamn necklaces. Why? Like, why? And he is still doing it. She says, "Christmas, a necklace. Valentine's Day, a necklace. Birthday, a necklace." Russ, no one needs that many necklaces, is what she says, and I agree. She's never gonna wear those all of those damn necklaces. I think out of my entire life, I have bought, well, I actually never bought any of my necklaces, actually, come to think of it, but I have, I think, 3, I believe, 3, I think 3 necklaces. One has my initial, my T, it's my initial, which I can still wear. I've had that since I was a kid. I have a heart one that I had when I was 16. It's a little short, but I can pull it off. And then I have one from when I got, uh when I had my first communion. So, obviously, I was 7, and, that one I can't wear because it's too small. But those are my necklaces. And really, at this point of my life, the only one I wear is my T initial necklace, if I wear necklaces at all, because I don't wear necklaces very often. Um, so yeah, it's just like, if you wanna still do the jewelry route, why not switch it up? Why not get her a watch one year? Or why not get her a bracelet or a ring, you know, or a toe ring? She seems like a toe ring kinda girl, or an anklet, like, switch it up. And if you wanna do the jewelry route, don't constantly buy her a damn necklace. Anyways, back to therapy for the hot second that we have here. Um, she they're telling the therapist kind of what happened with Shekinah. She got up at the fire. She told Thais to go back to her country. They're explaining all of the situation. And Shekinah says, "I said that because you attacked me. It's not about your ethnicity or your country. It's about you." Do I believe her? Yeah. But it still doesn't change the fact that you said the one thing that is not only going to hurt her, but is going to hurt all of the other people who immigrated to the States, just like Thais did. So it's still not the right thing to say. Do I believe that's what she meant behind the words she chose? Yes. I just don't think that's the right thing to do. It was not, it wasn't the right choice. Um, But this is where I say, but haven't seen accountability from Thais, and no one is here willing to hear Shekinah out. And Thais did attack her first. Sarper says it. She attacked her first, and it's true. She did. She's the one that threw the glass first. She's the one that got the whole thing in motion. Shekinah's responsible for her words, but the words would never have probably come out of her mouth if Thais didn't start the fight in the first place. So, and the thing that pisses me off is Rebecca's stupid ass grin on her face the entire time that Shekinah is being put in this situation where everyone's ganging up on her. That tells me you are enjoying someone's uncomfortability, which I don't like that part of it. Yes, you can hold her ass to the fire and keep her accountable, but when you have that shit and grin on your face, that pisses me off. Like, it just brings sadists, or you're getting off on someone's uncomfortability, like, it's weird. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. So, yeah, I I think that's where we'll end off here. I think there was another line that came up, but I believe it's in the next episode, but just in case it's not, I'll say it here quickly. There's another part here, again, I don't remember if it's the next episode, but where she says, "Would you go to someone else's country and you can't go to someone else's country and act like that. So kinda shut the fuck up, you're not helping yourself." Anyways, that is basically it, y'all. That is it for this episode. I will be back with another one later on today at noon, I believe, I think. I'm ahead of schedule, so I don't even know which one I'm recording right now. I think there's another one coming at the end of today. Um, yes, there is. That's the UK, LIB UK ATA. So yeah, that's what's coming up next. But until then, that is it for me, and that is it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, bear with me because I have not done an outro for the podcast in quite some time. So bear with me here. So if you liked what you heard, you can go to any of your favorite podcast apps. You can like, follow, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And you can also rate the podcast at either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'd be greatly appreciated. As a reminder, any 5-star ratings that are given to the podcast or any comments that are given to the podcast will be read on the podcast, which I have done in the past. If you want to connect with the podcast through social media, you can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Reality T times 2. You can also find me at Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Reality times 2 pod, I believe. You can email me at realityt times 2 at hotmail.com, and you can have any inquiries, anything like that, any ideas, any shows or episodes you want me to cover, you can definitely do that over there. And I am going back to our old website, and that is at solo.to/reality t times 2. There you can get any of the links to anything that I didn't mention here, any of the socials, website, email, all of that. It's all there for you. And we also have a new thing there where you can help support the podcast as well. It's called a tip jar. And you can tip whatever your heart's desire if you want to support the podcast, but don't want to necessarily support the podcast in going to Patreon, for example, or any of the links in any of the advertisements. You can do it there. But since we're on the topic of Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality t times 2, where there you can get access to even more than what I do here. There are 3 different tiers where you can get these shows ad free, as well as our next tier up where you would get another reality show that's being covered. So, we have Jersey Shore that's been getting covered. That's still being covered currently at the time of recording of this outro, but the future is bright with what's to come in the future, which I will be discussing, or I have discussed. I don't even know. And then also our next tier is a true crime tier as well. So you can definitely head over for that. But that is basically it. I will also just quickly mention here too, if you're interested in a different take of a podcast that I'm a part of, we do things a little differently, you can head on over to Next Take Podcast, where I usually drop bonus episodes here on this feed, but there you get a lot more. And that podcast is making changes. We're growing, doing new things, but you can definitely head on over there if you want to just hear a little bit different than what I do over here. So you can find that podcast over at our website, solo.to/next take podcast. And there we'll have all the links to your desire that will link you to any of your favorite podcast apps or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Social medias, it's all over there. But of course, you can still find that podcast at any of your favorite podcast apps. But that is it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode. Bye, everybody.